Hello, everyone. On today's podcast episode, I'm going to talk about jealousy and why you shouldn't be jealous of others. So let's get to it. So when I say why you shouldn't be jealous of others is that, many people have the mindset of, the grass is always greener on the other side, But the truth is, you don't really know what the person you see in front of you is experiencing. Many people, right? You've heard this, the short man. You've heard about the short man syndrome, right? The short man syndrome, where short people tend to wear like high heels and puff their bodies up to make themselves look taller. Their insecurities your insecurities force you to pretend to be something that you're not. That's exactly how it is with happiness. Depressed people do not look depressed. The more depressed a person is, the happier they look on the outside. So when you see people around you, on social media, in the news, and everywhere around you, your family members, don't think they're happy just because they're smiling. Don't think they're happy just because they're laughing. Don't think they're happy just because they look like they're having a good time. You don't know what's going on in their hearts, and the grass is not always greener on the other side. In this world, people like to see other people, be happy, and not only that, people also judge you if you're depressed. And because of that, because of the fear of being judged for being depressed, for not being happy, for not being content with their lives, many people, out of fear of not wanting to be judged, they'll put on a happy smile and pretend to be happy in front of others. They'll create videos of themselves smiling and laughing, when the truth is they're not happy. Happy people do not pretend to be happy. Happy people are just happy. You can't tell when someone is happy because they don't show it on their faces. Just because you smile does not mean you're happy. It's easy to smile. It's not that hard. You can smile right now. Does that mean you're happy? No. You can laugh right now while listening to this. Does that mean you're happy? No. So if you can smile and laugh without being happy, why do you think the people around you are smiling and laughing because they're happy? Why do you always assume that someone is happy just because they're smiling in front of you, or they're happy because they're laughing and pretending to be friends with each other? They're not happy. There's so many statistics out there that show that the majority of people in this world aren't happy. They're not happy people. They're just not happy people. And one of the things that prove this is that suicidal people, right? Almost every time before someone commits suicide, they always their family members always say that they're always in a happy mood. They're always smiling. They always take saying motivational quotes about how good life is, how great life is, and then a day later they've killed themselves. So the more happy a person appears, chances are the more miserable they are on the inside. And that's something you have to watch out for. Happy people do not, that's one of the illusions of life, is that you think people who are happy, smile a lot and laugh a lot, but that's not the truth. Someone could be the most happiest, person in the world and never smile once in their entire lives, or even laugh. Happiness is not, and smiling is not, they're not correlated. It's not, you're happy and then you smile. No, you can smile without being happy. Yes, some people who are happy smile, but just because some people who are happy smile does not mean that everyone who's happy smiles. So that's what you have to be careful of. The grass is not always greener on the other side. This world is filled with sinners. This world is filled with people who commit crimes, steal, mock, insult, and ridicule others. And in this world, you can't be happy being a sinner. The world of sinners do not experience happiness. Sinners do not experience happiness in this world. Only kind people experience happiness. I know it may sound like a shocker to you, but it's the basic truth. You can't experience good in life. And good is, the very fact of good is happiness. Something good, something that feels good. Happiness. You can't experience good in life when you're doing bad things. You can't experience good in life when you're doing bad things. That means you can't experience joy, happiness, pleasure. None of the good things in life you will ever, you will ever experience while you're doing bad things in life. All those people that tell you that, they're having a great time doing drugs, they're not. They're suffering. They pretend to be happy because they're afraid of being mocked and insulted by everyone. But just because they're pretending to be happy does not mean they're happy. Do not allow people to deceive you into thinking they're happy. Do not allow, suicidal family members to deceive you into thinking they're happy just because they're smiling a lot. They're smiling a lot because they don't want you to, be worried, about their health, about their mental health. That's the only reason. They don't want you asking questions about what's going on inside their minds. That's why they smile a lot. They want to pretend to be happy. That way, you're not suspicious that they're depressed. You're not suspicious that there's something wrong with them. They don't want you to think there's something wrong with them. That's why they pretend to be happy. Sinners are not happy people. They just can't be. This world, you can only be happy being a good person. You can only be happy being a kind person, being a man of God. That's the only time you can be happy. If you're not a good person, you can never experience happiness. It's just a basic fact. You may think I'm lying, but it's just a fact. The times when you've been cruel to others were the most miserable times of your life. The times where you were nice to others was the most, the greatest times of your life. It's just a fact. When you were cruel and abusive to others, your life was miserable. When you were kind and thoughtful, about others, those were the only times you actually enjoyed your life. You would never enjoy your life being cruel to others. You never enjoy your life living in a miserable, demented, state of being. When you're in a negative mood, life would never be happy for you. When you see the world as an evil place, life would never be happy for you. You never experience happiness if you see the world as an evil place. Why? Because, if you don't appreciate the world, you never see the good things in life, If you don't appreciate the world, all the good things in life, you see them as negative. You see them as evil. All the joyful things in life, you'll see them as evil because you have a negative view of the world. The world has good things and bad things. If you think the world is evil, you ignore all the good things in life and only focus on all the bad things in life. If you see the world as good, it's vice versa. You would downplay all the evil things in life and see all the good things in life. And the more you see all the good things in life, the more good things happen to you. The more you have a positive mindset, the kinder you are to everyone around you. The less you think of everyone as evil villains. The less you see the world as, a world filled with evil villains, the happier you'll be. Do not look at the human race as a world of, as evil creatures. Otherwise, you'll never be happy. Do you know why? Because the human race is the only thing you can ever experience. The only people you interact with is the human race. You have no one else to interact with. You're stuck with us. So if you see the humans as garbage, guess what? You see yourself as garbage. Because you are human. At the end of the day, you're also a human being. So the more you look down on the human race, the more you inadvertently look down on yourself. You are saying you are saying you are trash. By calling other humans trash, you are calling yourself trash by default. Why? Because you're just a human being just like them. There's not much difference between the two of you. So the more you look down on others, the more you behave like an evil person, the more you have an evil mindset, the worse life becomes for you. That's why the majority of people have a negative mindset of the world. They don't see the world as a happy place. They don't want to see the world as a happy place. They don't want to see the world as a good place. Because they don't want to see the world, they don't want to see the good in the world. They will never be happy. They can only pretend to be happy. They can only fake happiness. They can never experience real happiness because the mind doesn't allow them to experience real happiness. They have a demented state of being. They're in this demented state of being. They have a negative mindset. Having a negative mindset, will just ruin your life. No matter where you go, your life will always be miserable because you already think the world as a miserable place to be. If you think the world as a miserable place to be, the world will be miserable for you. And it will be miserable just for you, not everyone else. Other people will still be enjoying their lives, but they may never smile or laugh. But their lives will be far more enjoyable than yours. Do you know why? Because they believe this world is a good place. As long as you appreciate the things that God has given you, the world will always be good. As long as you start looking down on the world, start looking down on the creation that God has made, God would never help you. As long as you keep thinking, God, the world that God has created, this great world that God has created is worthless. Guess what? It will be worthless just for you and you alone. No matter what God does for you, you'll always see it as worthless. So why would God help you when you can't help yourself? Why would God help you make the world great when no matter what God does, God has already put so many beautiful things in this world just for you to experience. But yet here you are looking down on it. You think other people are living a better life than you, when the truth is you're ignoring all the good things that you have in life. It's not that other people are living a better life than you. They don't have a better life than you. They have the same life that you do. The biggest illusion is materialism. You think because they have more cars, more this, more that, it means they're living a better life, but that's an illusion. They are not. You can only drive one car at a time. You can only live in one room at a time. At the end of the day, there's a bottleneck to what they have. No matter how many cars they buy, you can only drive one car at a time. You can only pay attention to a few things at a time. They're not experiencing a greater life than you are. Many of these people are extremely miserable people. So that's why they keep buying more things, thinking that the more things they buy, at some point in time, they'll gain happiness. But they just never do. They're like Sisyphus. They just keep trying to be happy by buying more things. But yet the more they buy more things, the less happy they become. To the point where they start thinking that the world is garbage. Because they bought all these things, yet yet they're still not happy. And the reason why they're still not happy is because they have a negative mindset of the world. They don't think the world is good without cars. They don't believe that God has their back without, giving them expensive things. When the truth is, the world is filled with so much happiness. You don't have to spend millions of dollars just to go to a movie. A movie costs like $15. If you don't want to spend $15, most people have a cable, internet, cell phone service. They can go online and just watch a YouTube movie. There are countless movies on YouTube for free. And some of them are better than the ones you find in the movie theaters. So there's always options. God has always placed options in this world. There are paid options and then there are free options. This world always has both options available for everyone to experience. If you want the paid option, you get the paid option. But you don't have to have the paid option. There's always the free option. You don't value the free option because you already have a negative viewpoint of free things. You think free things are trash. You think the air you breathe is worthless because it's free. You think the air you breathe is worthless because it's free. You think the green grass, the flowers that you walk by on your way to a mall, to whatever place you're going, you think they're worthless because it's free. Yet these are one of the most beautiful things you can experience in the world. When you look down on the world, when you look down on all the good things that God has given you, how can you ever be happy? You would never be happy if you keep looking down on all the free things in life. And this life is filled with a lot of free things. You're just not paying attention to it. You're only paying attention to the expensive things that other people have. You see life as trash unless you have the expensive things that other people have. Guess what? They also have the same mindset that you have. That's why they keep buying more and more things. The more they keep buying things, the worse their life becomes. Because they don't get it. They don't get that life is not about money. Life is not about buying more things. Being a hoarder does not make your life happier. So they keep spending money, buying more things, acquiring more things, yet their life is still miserable. Their life will still be miserable to the day they die. Why? Because they do not value the free things that they already have in life. They do not value the things that they've already bought in life. They've bought so many things, yet they still need more. Because the problem is not the things that they have, it's themselves. They have a negative viewpoint of the world. They have a negative viewpoint of the things that they already have. The things that they can acquire for free automatically feels worthless for them. They see it as worthless. The things they can acquire easily, most people see it as worthless because they have that mindset that, if you can get it for free, or if you get it easily, it means it's worthless. They will never be happy in life. It's just impossible. They have a negative viewpoint of the world. They have a negative viewpoint of themselves, and they have a negative viewpoint of others. And with that, negative mindset, they will only ever experience negativity. They will never experience the joys of life. They will never experience the good things in life. It is impossible. So if you don't change your mindset that the grass is not always greener on the other side, your grass is greener than the grass on the other side. That's the mindset you need to have. The grass you have right now on your side is greener than the grass on the other side. If you can't have that mindset, you will never be happy in this world. You will always want more. You will always be like an evil devourer that just swallows and takes and takes and takes and takes in the greediest way possible. And yet, no matter what you take, you'll never still be happy. You're like a bottomless pit that can never be full. That's what you'll be, a bottomless pit that will never be full. If you have the mindset that what you have is worthless, you'll be a bottomless pit that will never be, that can never be full. And that's the mindset of most people in this world. They're consumers. They think the more you have, the better life becomes. You just have to be just like the rich folks. They have, if they buy expensive cars, you have to buy expensive cars to be happy. You see them smile and you think they're happy. They're not happy. They won't be drug addicts if they're happy. These people won't be dying of drug overdose all the time if they were happy. These are not happy people. Drug does not make you happy in any way, shape, or form. Don't let people trick you into thinking it does. It does not have any psychological effects that'll make you happier. The best thing it has is placebo, and even then, that's fleeting. Once your organ starts to fail, once your heart starts to skip, your life is slowly, your life will be slowly over soon. Your life will be over soon. So do not get tricked into thinking people are happy just because they're smiling. They're not. The only time you'll ever truly be happy is when you're content with what you have. And you can be content with what you have, whether you're a millionaire or you have no money in your bank account. That's the quickest way to happiness is to be happy. It's that simple. The quickest way to happiness is to not be jealous of what other people have. They don't have anything. They have nothing that you have. What you have around you may be more valuable than what they have. You may have loving parents. You may have a great friend. You may have a nice car that's perfect for you. It may not be the most expensive car in the world, but it's perfect for you. It does exactly what you want it to do. There are so many good things that you have in your own life that you don't pay attention to. As long as you keep looking down on them, guess what? You're looking down on the world. As long as you keep looking down on the world, you will never be happy because the world is all you have. As long as you think the world is garbage, you will be garbage. You know why? You are part of this world. Looking down on the world is automatically means looking down on yourself because you are part of this world. You can never be separated from this world while you're alive. So every time you look down on the world, you're looking down on yourself. And when you have a negative mindset and you keep looking down on yourself, guess what? You'll be depressed. You will never be happy. You'll only ever be, pretentious. You can only ever pretend to be happy for the rest of your life because you're truly not happy. You'll be those people who always have to have a fake smile on their face because you don't want people to think that you're miserable. No matter how many cars you have, there are people, they buy cars, right? They want an expensive car so badly, so they buy it. They sell out all their friends and then they buy the expensive cars, even though everyone tells them, don't buy it. You won't be happier with it. Then they buy it, right? And they're still miserable. But they don't want to tell their friends they're miserable. So guess what they do? They start faking the smile every time they're inside that car. They start pretending the car is the greatest thing in the world because they don't want the people they went against to mock them for being fools. You don't want to be mocked for being a fool when you've been told not to do something and then you do it anyways and then it backfires. Obviously, you don't want people to know that it backfires, so you keep pretending you like it. That way, other people don't mock you for being a fool. And that's what's going on in this world. Many people pretend to be happy because they don't want to be seen as fools with luxury goods. You don't want to be looked at as a fool who spent a lot of money just to gain nothing. So all these people you see buying expensive things and pretending to be happy, they're doing it because they want people to mock them. that they wasted all their money on something worthless, something that never brought them a single ounce of happiness. After they got it, after the novelty wore off, they realized they're still themselves. The car did not change their bodies any way, shape, or form. The expensive things that they bought did not change their minds in any way, shape, or form. They are still themselves. After they've changed the whole world, they still realize that they're still themselves. So all the issues that they've had in the past, they still have them right now. They're still the same person with a negative mindset. Because they still have that negative mindset, nothing will ever make them happy. If you don't change your mind, no matter how many things you buy in this world, you will never be happy. If you don't change your mindset, if you don't change yourself, you will never be happy in this world. If you keep being mean and cruel to the world around you, to everyone around you, think that the whole world is evil, guess what? The world will be evil, but it will only be evil for you and no one else. You'll be the only person experiencing the evils of this world. Other people who have a positive mindset will never experience a single ounce of evil in this world. And the difference between them and you is that they don't think this world is evil. That's the difference between the two of us. You think this world is evil and I don't. So I don't think this world is evil. I will never experience a single ounce of evil. Yes, I know there are people that do bad things in life. But just because there are people that do bad things, does not mean there aren't people that do good things either. If you only see the bad things in life, obviously you end up becoming a cruel person that start lashing out at people for no reason. When you start seeing that, if you think you're surrounded by evil people, you start treating them badly because you think everyone around you is evil. Even the good people in your life as well. You treat everyone badly, even the good people in your life. And guess what? When you start treating the good people in your life badly, guess what? They'll run away from you. Good people do not like to be around evil people. Good people do not like to be around people who treat them badly. So when you kick all the good people out of your life, guess what? The only people left in your life will be the bad ones. The ones who like to treat you badly, just like you like to treat them badly. So how can you be happy when you have that mindset? You only attract negative people to your life, and the positive people, will slowly but surely disappear from your life sooner or later. As long as you keep having a negative mindset of this world, as long as you keep thinking that the world that God created is garbage, you will only experience garbage in life. Be thankful of what you have in this world. Be thankful of what God has given you. Be thankful of the life that God has given you. Be thankful of yourself. You are a human being. You are a child of God. That should be enough for you. You get to breathe air every single day. Fresh, beautiful, sweet air every single day of your life. That should be enough for you. You don't need everything in life to be happy. You don't need to be a greedy person to be happy. You don't need to be a glutton to be happy. What you have in life is good enough. What you have in life right now is good enough. If you have that mindset, you will always be happy. The grass on your side is greener than the grass on the other side. That's the mindset you need to have. That's the mindset of a good person. That's the mindset of a man of God. A man of God appreciates what God has given him. And God is giving you a lot. Just being born is a gift from God. Just being born in this world filled with emotions and feelings is a gift from God. You should appreciate that. You should appreciate God for what He's already given you. Stop expecting more from the world. The world has already given you so much. There's so many beautiful things to experience in this world that's free, 100% free or extremely cheap to get. The world is so free. There's so many free things to experience in this world. But if you keep looking down on the good things that God has given you for free, you will never experience a good thing in life. So that's it for today's podcast episode. Think about it. You have to change yourself for your world to change. If you don't change yourself, if you don't change your mindset, you will always be depressed. What other people have has nothing to do with you. Do not assume someone who's smiling is happy. They're not. They could be the most depressed person in the world and would look like the most happiest person alive. Suicidal people always look extremely happy before they commit suicide. And that should be your warning. That just because someone looks happy does not mean they are. Just because someone looks happy driving a expensive car or living in a mansion does not mean they are. So that's it for today's podcast. I'll talk to you guys later. Enjoy your day. Bye.